everybody. Happy Friday. I was like, what are we going to do today? And then I was like, hey, I got to cast my vote in the Critics' Choice Awards. And I always enjoy, when you go behind the scenes of somebody's vote. So I thought I would do that with mine. So I'm going to vote live with you. And so you'll not only get to see how it's done for an organization like Critics' Choice, but I will describe and explain my vote. This is my personal vote. This isn't who I think is going to win. This isn't even necessarily who I think should win. But this is just who I personally am voting for as a member of Critics' Choice. So very excited, everybody. Hi, hello, everybody. Hi, Sensation. Thank you for gifting a membership. So you guys can comment while we're going through this, but we have a lot of awards to go through because Critics' Choice, like the Golden Globes, Critics' Choice, by the way, airs on Sunday, January 14th. But like the Golden Globes, both the Critics' Choice Awards and the Golden Globe Awards are movies and TV. So you're going to be seeing my vote in both categories. All right, so we got a lot to go through. And I got to tell you, I was going through this before we went live, and there are a lot of Sophie's Choices here. I mean, this is tough. There are some things I wish I could vote for two things. And in some categories, I was like, I don't even like any of these choices. Or in some categories where I haven't really seen enough movies, I kind of, I went with what I thought would be good, just for society. Hey, Lisa MP, that's very generous of you. Everybody send good wishes to Lisa. She's going through some stuff, and I'm really impressed with Lisa's tenacity. I love Lisa. Okay, so again, this is just my personal choice. Please realize that. Okay, here we go. All right, so let me see. I gotta have my list here for me, because I already went through what I was planning to vote for, so I'd be all ready. All right? So as you can see, oh wow, look at all the generosity. Let me just quickly say, Danny, thank you. Not Modern Art, thank you very much for gifting those memberships. All right, so here we go. You can see it's the official ballot for the 29th Annual Critics' Choice Awards, and you do this through the site, and I fill it out, as you can see. So I just click on what I want to vote for. So first off, we have Best Picture. And, there are a lot of nominees here. And I got to tell you, I don't think it's going to win. But I'm voting for Barbie. That's right. Here we go. Whoop, Barbie. Now, let me explain why I'm voting for Barbie. I'm voting for Barbie because I think that out of all of these movies, Barbie just hit the hardest. It hit hard, not only popular in terms of box office, but it hit hard culturally, and it hit hard in terms of message. So I think that it really, it checked all the boxes. It fired on all cylinders. And I do think that even Meryl Streep said it today. I saw this on Twitter this morning. Even Meryl Streep said Barbie saved the movie industry this year. And I would agree with that. And so, again, I would be very surprised if Barbie actually won, but it's getting my vote. All right, so I click vote. Ah, yes, haha, your vote, Barbie. It's locked. It's locked in there, man. All right, so next up. Oh, it's getting real fast. All right, so next up, Best Actor. Now, to be honest with you, I don't love any of the people in this category. I mean, I love them, but I don't love their performances. Nobody here blew me away, where I'm like, that person must win the award. So I'm going to actually vote for Cillian Murphy, or Cillian Murphy. I always mess that up, but I'm going with Cillian Murphy because even though I did not care for Oppenheimer, I can't deny, just like I feel you can't deny Barbie's success, that Oppenheimer had a huge impact on the film business and on moviegoers. And I think that movie is very much held together by Murphy's performance. So I'm voting for him. Again, even though I didn't like the movie, I still can respect his performance. I liked Jeffrey Wright, Platinum Diva. I did, but I felt like his performance didn't go far enough, Don't worry, I voted for American Fiction for something, as you'll see. I did my notes of what I wanted to vote for in advance because, it would take forever if I was just sitting here being like, what do I want to vote for? Thank you. It's Cillian Murphy. Well, he's killing it with my vote. There we go. Locked. Cillian Murphy. Best actor. All right, now for Best Actress. Now, you might think that I was going to vote for Margot Robbie for Barbie here, but you'd be wrong. Because I feel like I can't vote for Barbie for everything. I agree with many voters that I try to spread the love around. You know, I want many movies to walk away with an award. And also, while I thought Margot Robbie was quite good in Barbie, I think she's getting a lot out of that movie as it is already. Also, I think to me, Margot Robbie really shines with Barbie as a producer. And I just gave her that award with Best Picture. So, I'm going with Greta Lee. Just because I liked her performance so much. I'm sorry, I didn't like Lily Gladstone's performance. I mean, I certainly think that she's the front runner to win, but I felt like her role was underwritten, and I didn't think she did a lot with it. She never made me really understand why her character did the crazy things that she did. So Greta Lee had a lot of really understated scenes that she had, and I just thought Greta Lee was fantastic. And also, just like many awards voters, I would like to see Greta Lee have a career. So that's partially why I'm voting for her. I'm like, I would love Greta Lee to get more work. And that's not going to happen if she doesn't win some awards. So, I think she'll get some work, but I really like Greta Lee. So that's why I'm voting for her. Greta Lee is in Past Lives, Lisa, as you can see here. I think I made it big enough that you can see the vote, right? I think so. All right. So I'm voting for Greta Lee. All right, next up, Best Supporting Actor. Oh, this was tough because everybody in this category is so good. But I don't care. I'm voting for Ryan Gosling for Barbie. I think the competition here is so difficult that I don't know if he can pull out a win here. I mean, before it was just between him and Robert Downey Jr., and I was like, I think he's got a chance. But I think Charles Melton's probably going to win this. But I thought that Ryan Gosling, with all due respect to the rest of the cast, Ryan Gosling is what supercharged the Barbie movie. I think his doing the song, him putting himself out there, his willingness to do comedy, and he struck just the right note with Ken. So I really feel he deserves it. So I'm voting for him. Lisa, I'm sorry it's still too small for you. I'll make sure I say the movie as well, just for those of you who maybe are listening instead of watching. All right. So locked in, Ryan Gosling, Barbie. Good luck, Ryan. It would be so wonderful if he won. I don't care. He can win this or Best Song. I don't care which one it is. I just want him to win something for his performance as Ken, because it was so incredible. All right, next up, Best Supporting Actress. This is tough. This is very hard, because I think Divine Joy Randolph, fellow Randolph, I think Divine Joy Randolph is probably going to win. But I have to say, to me, the two best performances in this category are Danielle Brooks and Divine Joy Randolph. And even though I think Divine Joy Randolph will win, I'm voting for Danielle Brooks because I thought that she just did so much with The Color Purple, and I thought she was incredible in it, and she did the singing. She had so many nuances. I thought that Divine Joy Randolph, the reason I'm not voting for her is that I thought her performance stayed like at one level for most of it, but yet I felt that Danielle Brooks had like a lot of different levels. John Camara says you can watch Past Lives on digital. I recommend it as well. It's a little bit of a depressing movie, but I still liked it. Stephen, I know that Ryan Gosling wouldn't win the award himself, but it very much would be for his work. All right, so Danielle Brooks, locked in, voting for her. That's right, Asami. I guess I should have supported a fellow Randolph, but I really liked Danielle Brooks in The Color Purple. When I was watching it, I was like, she's making this whole movie. Everybody in the movie's good, but she was really good. All right, next up, this is a special category just for the Critics' Choice Awards. I don't know if SAG has this as well, but it's Best Young Actor or Actress. And there are a lot of good nominees here, like Cal Elaine for Wonka. In fact, I wrote her name down first. And I almost voted for her. Also, Madeline Univoyles from The Creator, who played the little girl. She was absolutely incredible in that movie. But you know what? I wanted to give The Holdovers something, so I'm going with Dominic Sessa. Because I felt that Dominic Sessa held his own against, I don't think he not only held his own against an experienced actor like Paul Giamatti and also Divine Joy Randolph, But I thought that Dominic Sessa made a really strong impression on me as an actor. He really stood out to me, and I was really impressed with his work. And that's like his first major role ever. He came they auditioned actors at the school where they were filming, and that's how he got the job. So the fact that he's never been in a professional production before, I got to give it to him. Danny, you can watch The Holdovers on digital. I don't believe it's on streaming just yet, but it's been a while. It should be heading to streaming pretty soon. All right, Best Acting Ensemble. This is tough as well. You got Air, Barbie, The Color Purple, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, and Oppenheimer. I'm sorry, George Dilley, I'm not voting for Oppenheimer in this category, but I'm not voting for Barbie either. What? That's right. I'm voting for The Color Purple. Why? Because I felt that The Color Purple, Steve says The Holdovers is on Peacock already. That's great. Lisa said that as well. Go over there and watch it at no extra cost. All right, so the reason I'm voting for The Color Purple for Best Ensemble is that I think that, everybody in that movie had a difficult role. Every single actor. And they all delivered. And I just thought, at the end of the movie when they're all together, that was powerful stuff. So I got to vote for The Color Purple for Best Acting Ensemble. All right. Now we're moving to the Behind the Camera Awards. That's right, Platinum Diva. The cast made that movie. I feel bad that The Color Purple isn't connecting as much as I feel that it should. All right, next up, Best Director. Oh, I'm sorry, you know what I'm voting for. You know who I'm voting for? It's Greta Gerwig. That's right. Now, Bradley Cooper, I think, overdid it with Maestro. I hated Poor Things, and I don't like Yorgos Lanthimos at all. Christopher Nolan, yeah, he's a great director, but I didn't like his movie. I didn't like a lot of the choices that he made. Alexander Payne, The Holdovers, I feel is a small film, and it wasn't as funny as I think that it should have been. And then I didn't like Killers of the Flower Moon either. I think both Martin Scorsese and Christopher Nolan made, I can intellectually discern that those are well-made movies, from a craft perspective, but I think a lot of the choices for the films were poor, with perspective and what was included and, representation. It's 2024. Those movies came out in 2023. And I feel that both Christopher Nolan and Martin Scorsese still aren't getting it, in terms of a global audience. So I'm going with Greta Gerwig because she got it, in my opinion. Greta Gerwig, that was just a masterful command of the subject material. And she had to command an army of a film. There were so many little details that had to be just right. And that's what a director is in charge of. So I got to go with Greta Gerwig. Bam! She would be the third woman, I believe, to win Best Director. Oh, we're getting up there. All right. Let's see. All right, next is Best Original Screenplay, where Barbie is still in the category, so that allows me to vote for it here. Bam! Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach for Barbie. With all due respect to these other scripts, which I think for the most part are pretty good. I didn't like Maestro, as you know. All the other scripts are good. But again, Barbie has an incredibly balanced and nuanced script. That Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach turned Barbie and Ken dolls into that. It's funny. It has a lot of heartfelt drama and message to it. It has everything. And that's really incredible. And it's all on the page. This isn't one of those movies where they improvise it all on set. It was well written and that well conceptualized from the script stage. So I got to give it to them. So bam, locked in. Best Original Screenplay, Barbie. All right, next up, Best Adapted Screenplay. Now, I know some of you would like for me to vote for Oppenheimer here, but I just can't do it. I'm sorry. And so what I have to go with, I agree with Lloyd, I'm going with American Fiction. Because I think, American Fiction, I have to say, was not a perfect script. But I love that movie so much. And even though I think it didn't go all the way, I think it's so strong in many areas that I really wanted to get something. And I think Cord Jefferson is an incredible talent. He wrote and directed that movie. So I got to go with Cord Jefferson for American Fiction for Best Adapted. I want him to walk away with an award. There we go. So this just gives you an idea of how you decide what you're voting for. You're not only voting for what you liked, but who you like and how you want to see the industry be shaped going forward. So that's really an important aspect to voting, just to give you some perspective there. All right, next up, best cinematography. I'm going with Oppenheimer. That's right, I'm not afraid to give Oppenheimer an award. I've already given it a couple of awards. Well, actually just one. But now it's in 2. Because I must admit, that was a good-looking movie. And it wasn't as pretty as Barbie was. Barbie was very flat, cinematography-wise. So I got to go with Oppenheimer. You know, Hoyt van Hoytema. That guy knows what he's doing. There we go. Oppenheimer. But best production design, back to Barbie. Oh, yeah, I got to give it to Barbie. They built a whole Barbie dream house. Like in real life. It's got to go to Barbie. I mean, that was just an incredible job. All right, next up, best editing. This was hard. And you know what? I decided to go. The nominees are Air, Barbie, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, Killers of the Flower Moon, and Maestro. And I decided to go with Air because I felt that was a very good film, and I thought there was a lot of talking and people being on the phone, and they still made it very energetic and have a lot of electricity to it. So I'm going to go with Air. I thought that was extremely well edited. You know, they were able to take business conversations and light them up. So that's what I'm going with. Best costume design. Now, you might be like, she's voting for Barbie again, but I'm not. So the other choices are Wonka, The Color Purple, Poor Things, Killers of the Flower Moon, and Napoleon. And I got to say, I'm going for Wonka. It's the only category they're nominated in, I think, or pretty much. And I thought the costumes were just incredible for Wonka. I thought they were great. You know, from Wonka to Scrubbits to the Chocolate Cartel, I thought that was really, really strong. So I'm going with Wonka. I wish it was nominated in more categories. I tried to get Timothée Chalamet in there, but obviously my fellow members didn't agree with me. All right, best hair and makeup. I agree, Stephen, that I think probably Poor Things or Barbie will actually win it. But I'm putting Wonka in there. All right, best hair and makeup. I'm sorry, but I'm going back to Barbie. Why? Because they recreated Barbie dolls. I thought the hair and makeup was good in all of these movies. But to do that Barbie look and make it accessible and likable is so hard to do. If you said, I'm going to make a bunch of characters look like Barbie dolls, and you would think that it would go for like a very unlikable, vain kind of approach. But that's not what they did. They instead went for something really wholesome. So I'm going for Barbie. All right. Then, best visual effects. This was actually quite easy for me to vote for. So the best visual effects choices are The Creator, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. And what am I going with? Some of you already know. The Creator. Because I thought that not only were the visual effects on that movie fantastic, but I liked that they made them it was only an $80 million movie. So I like the message there. I not only think the work is good, but I like sending a message that you can do award-winning visual effects for not that much money if you just think about it and make the effort. And so that really means a lot to me. And if you listen to your VFX people, I think that's really fantastic. So I'm going for The Creator. There we go. All right. Then best comedy. They don't divide into comedy and drama like the Golden Globes over at Critics' Choice, but they do have comedies, a comedy category just for movies. Now this is an interesting one. You've got American Fiction, Barbie, Bottoms, The Holdovers, No Hard Feelings, and Poor Things. Now, I'm not going to vote for Barbie, even though the movie's hilarious, because I already voted for Barbie a ton of times. So Barbie doesn't need this category. American Fiction, I didn't think was as funny, and The Holdovers. Both of those movies weren't as funny as I thought they were going to be. Then, I hated Poor Things, as you know. I didn't think that was funny at all. I thought it was horrible. But I almost voted for No Hard Feelings because I still haven't seen Bottoms. However, and I liked No Hard Feelings quite a bit. I thought Jennifer Lawrence did a wonderful job, and I thought they took a very difficult subject matter and managed to make it wholesome. And I thought the movie was genuinely hilarious. However, I'm voting for Bottoms. I haven't even seen it yet, but the reason I'm voting for Bottoms is that I thought the trailer was very funny. I know a lot of people really enjoyed it, and I thought it was a very clever, interesting movie. Oh, Lisa says it wasn't funny. That's interesting. But I think it looked funny to me, and I think that it made a good connection. It's so funny. Some of you like Bottoms is Your Poor Things. But I liked it. I thought it was inventive. I thought it was different. I think No Hard Feelings is more of a commercial film. So I'm going to go with Bottoms. All right, so I see some of you saying you didn't like it, but I'm still voting for it. Best Animated Feature. This was easy, even though there's a ton of great movies in this category. I didn't see Boy and the Heron, but I know that a lot of people respect it. It's Miyazaki, obviously. Elemental, I thought was good. Nimona, I thought was good. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I thought was good. But how can you not vote for Spider-Verse? There you go. Spider-Verse. I'm voting for it. I thought it was incredibly well done. It might not win because it already won a lot of awards the first time around, but I'm going with it. Bam! Spider-Verse. Best Foreign Language Film. I'm sorry to say that I haven't gotten around to watching any of these movies. I feel bad about it. I think I've heard wonderful things about Anatomy of a Fall, Zone of Interest, obviously. Also, Society of the Snow, which just came out today, is blowing up. Everybody's like, wow, this movie's great. But I gotta say, I'm voting for Godzilla -1 because I don't think it's gonna win, but I'm gonna vote for it because I know a lot of you really loved the movie. I think it made a really strong impression, so I'm gonna vote for it. All right, Godzilla -1. All right, we're almost done with movies. Then we're gonna switch to TV. All right, then Best Song. Well, this is easy for me. I'm Just Ken. I don't know if it's gonna win. I'm really nervous about whether or not I'm Just Ken is going to win. But I still, it's not going to win if people don't vote for it, so I'm voting for it. As for the other songs here, I think the other two Barbie songs are fine, but I didn't like them as much as I'm Just Ken. Peaches, I didn't like that movie, but I respect how successful that song was. And then This Wish, I didn't think was the best song in that movie, so I don't know why they nominated it. And I can't believe no Wonka songs are in here. Despicable. All right, here we go. I'm Just Ken. And then for Best Score, I'm voting for Barbie again. Here we go. I'm doing it. Now, some of you might be like, I don't remember the Barbie score. Yes, you do. How about when the Barbie movie started and they had all the dolls turning around to that song and they were like, do, 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 or whatever. I can't even repeat it. But it was great. I loved it. I thought also when they had that great like the music for the Mattel company when they're like doom 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 doom. I was like, this is great. It was incredible. And I think Mark Ronson obviously is incredibly talented. I don't think Barbie's gonna win, but I'm voting for it. There we go. Bam. All right, so that's my voting. That's my voting for a film. All right, so here we go. I'm not gonna vote for I'll open it up to questions at the very end, okay? But for those of you not watching live, I want to just keep going, okay? All right, so television. Here we go. The TV category. Did I enter my vote? Is it all entered? Yes. Okay. Here we go. TV. The 29th Annual Critics' Choice Awards television categories. Here we go. Best Drama Series. Since this is television, I'm going to read them out loud, okay? Because I think they're like, it's been a bit, and so I'm going to read them out loud. We got The Crown, The Diplomat, The Last of Us, Loki, The Morning Show, Star Trek, Strange New Worlds, what? Succession, and then Winning Time, The Rise of the Lakers Dynasty. Boy, wow, this is a tough category. I'd love to vote for Winning Time, but I feel that's a waste of my vote. I'd love to vote for The Last of Us, but I feel it will return to this category. So I have to go with Succession. I'm sorry. Succession, this is its final season. That third episode, nobody will ever forget it. It was just absolutely incredible. You don't get better than that. I agree with many people that that was the best episode of television since Breaking Bad Ozymandias. So you got to go with Succession, even though it's one before. So I have to do it. Bam, locked in. Your vote, Succession. Best actor, look, CJ's like, it doesn't need it. I don't care. I know that it doesn't need it. I totally agree with you. But it's so good, you have to vote for it. It's just too good. All right. Best actor in a, don't worry, this isn't going to be like Succession down the line, okay? Best actor in a drama series. Now, yes, I agree with many of you. I wanted to vote for Pedro Pascal for The Last of Us. I did. But then I remembered how I gushed through all of Loki season 2 about Tom Hiddleston's acting. His face acting, his ability to cry. He broke my heart. I thought it was incredible. So I got to go with Tom Hiddleston for Best Actor, Loki. The other choices are Kieran Culkin for Succession, who seems like supporting to me, Timothy Olyphant for Justified City Primeval, Pedro Pascal, of course, Ramon Rodriguez for Will Trent, what network television, and then Jeremy Strong for Succession. But I'm going with Tom Hiddleston. I know some of you don't agree, but I'm doing it. All right, next up, Best Actress in a Drama Series. I forgot, I'm reading these. All right, so Jennifer Aniston for The Morning Show, Anjanou Ellis for Justified City Primeval, Bella Ramsey for The Last of Us, Kerry Russell for The Diplomat, so good, Sarah Snook for Succession, who isn't in awe of Shiv? And then also for The Morning Show, Reese Witherspoon. But you know who I'm going with? Bella Ramsey for The Last of Us. For one, I want to give an award to The Last of Us. So I'm voting for it partially for that reason. Also, hold on, I need a drink of water. I was extremely impressed with Bella Ramsey's ability to go from annoying at the beginning of the season to everybody just falling in love with her character and thinking she was just so fantastic. So that was really strong acting, in my opinion. I really, really loved it. You know, the way she at first was like very difficult with Joel, and then they warmed to each other. I mean, there was just a lot of nuance in that performance. And I would have voted for Pedro Pascal if Tom Hiddleston wasn't in that category. So Bella Ramsey, Best Actress in a Drama Series. Then, Best Supporting Actor in a Drama Series. Khalid Abdallah for The Crown, Billy Crudup for The Morning Show, Ron Cephas-Jones for Truth Be Told, Matthew McFadden, a.k.a. Tom, on Succession, Ke Huy Quan for Loki, and Rufus Sewell for The Diplomat. The Diplomat's a great show. It's on Netflix. If you haven't watched it, you're looking for something to watch, go watch it. And I almost voted for Ke Huy Quan, but I thought that his performance had absolutely no nuance or levels to it. So that's right. I'm going for Matthew McFadden for Succession. He doesn't need it. He's already won a bunch of times before. But I don't care. He's amazing on Succession. Tom is the character I just love the most. I think it's fantastic. I think he was vital to that show. He never choreographed how things were going. So I'm definitely going with Tom. I got to do it. Matthew McFadden. All right, then next up, Best Supporting Actress in a Drama Series. Nicole Beharie for The Morning Show, Elizabeth Debicki for The Crown, Sophie DiMartino for Loki. I'm sorry, B-Weeb. Ke Huy Quan was very good in episode 5. He was wonderful, but he wasn't my favorite. Celia Rose Gooding for Star Trek Strange New Worlds, Karen Pittman also for The Morning Show, and Christina Ricci for Yellow Jackets. I really like Christina Ricci on Yellow Jackets, but in this category, I got to go for Elizabeth Debicki because I thought that she just was Princess Diana, and I thought she did an incredible job making me understand what Diana was going through in those final few months of her life. And so I thought it was incredible. It was an incredible performance. Just transformative. So I didn't even see Elizabeth Debicki. I was like, it's Diana. So I have to vote for that. I think she has not gotten enough credit for that role. All right, next up, Best Comedy Series. So we're moving over to comedy now. Why am I having such a... Sorry. I apologize to those of you on headphones. All right. Best Comedy Series, Abbott Elementary, Barry, The Bear, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Poker Face, Reservation Dogs, Shrinking, and What We Do in the Shadows. Now, in previous years, I might have voted for Barry, but I thought that the final season of Barry, after it got to like the halfway point, was like unwatchable. It was horrible. I only watched it because I thought maybe it would turn things around, but it never did. So I can't vote for Barry. Then as for The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, while that was comfort food till the end, I thought maybe it stayed 1-2 season long at the party. It kind of lost a little bit of its magic at the end. And I liked Poker Face, and I liked Shrinking. But that's right. I think you can see where this is going. I'm voting for the bear. I don't even think the bear is that funny. I don't even know why it's in that category, but that's what I'm voting for. I thought the bear this season was incredible. I guess maybe it has a little bit of a lighter tone, but I thought it was just so incredible. I just love that show. All right, so Best Actor in a Comedy Series. I think you can guess where this is going. I maybe would have voted for Only Murders in the Building if Martin Short had been nominated. I think this is for the season 2. No, it's not. It's for season 3 because Meryl Streep is nominated. And Martin Short, to me, was far better than Steve Martin in Only Murders of the Building season 3. In fact, I thought Steve Martin was a little annoying this season. So I'm surprised that he's nominated. But there's Bill Hader for Barry, Kevin Novick for What We Do in the Shadows, Drew Tarver for the other two, Jeremy Allen White for The Bear, and DeFaro Wunatai for Reservation Dogs. I'm going with Jeremy Allen White. I think he's fantastic on The Bear. Did you see his new Calvin Klein ads? I mean, that guy's great. He's on his way up. And I thought he was really, really strong in The Bear. I think that he was overshadowed by a couple of other actors this season, but I still think he did a wonderful job. All right, Best Actor and Actress in a Comedy Series. Rachel Brosnahan for The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Quinta Brunson for Abbott Elementary. Ayo Edebiri for The Bear. Bridget Everett for Somebody Somewhere. Devery Jacobs for Reservation Dogs. And Natasha Lyonne for Poker Face. I almost voted for Natasha Lyonne because I really love Poker Face and she did a wonderful job in that. But I gotta vote for Ayo Edebiri for The Bear. She balances out that cast really, really well. And I just feel like she's such an important thread to The Bear. I just think she's phenomenal on that show. So I got to vote for her on it. Okay, there we go. All right. Then, Best Supporting Actor in a Comedy Series. Phil Dunster for Ted Lasso. Harrison Ford for Shrinking. Harvey Guillen, I love Harvey Guillen, for What We Do in the Shadows. James Marsden for Jury Duty. Ebon Moss-Bachrach for The Bear. And Henry Winkler for Barry. That's right, Ebon Moss, I gotta get better at this. Bachrach. I thought he was just phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. If you have seen the Forks episode of The Bear, you know there's nobody else here that you can vote for. So I'm going with him. I hope he's not the thing, Ivan Sarmiento. I think that would be such a waste of his ability for him to do mostly motion capture. I would be devastated if he got cast in that role. All right, now, luckily for Best Supporting Actress in a Comedy Series, there's nobody from The Bear nominated, so I can vote for somebody else. All right, so Paulina Alexis for Reservation Dogs, Alex Borstein for The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Janelle James for Abbott Elementary, Cheryl Lee Ralph for Abbott Elementary, Meryl Streep for Only Murders in the Building, and Jessica Williams for Shrinking. A lot of talented actresses in this category, but I gotta tell you, I gotta actually go with Meryl Streep for Only Murders in the Building. Now, I know that Meryl Streep already has a gabillion awards, but she was so good in Only Murders in the Building. She stepped right into that show, and she fit like a glove. Like she'd been on it all the seasons. She sang an incredible song. I mean, she had everything. I believed, you were guessing as to who was the murderer. I mean, she was just incredible. She was just wonderful. Oh, thank you, Anthony Murdoch. That's very generous of you. So I'm going with Only Murders in the Building. All right, there we go. All right, then for Best Limited Series. So this is the last group category. Then we have a couple of other lingering awards. All right, so Best Limited Series. There's Beef, Daisy Jones and the Six, Fargo, Fellow Travelers, Lessons in Chemistry, Love and Death, A Murder at the End of the World, and A Small Light. Yes, I agree, Michael McKennis. This is a very difficult category. I think the new Fargo is incredible. And I also really liked Love and Death. But I got to go with Beef. You just don't get better than Beef. Beef was just phenomenal. So I got to give it to Beef. All right, there we go. Then for Best Movie Made for Television, The Kane Mutiny Court Martial, Finest Kind, Mr. Monk's Last Case, a Monk Movie, No One Will Save You, Quiz Lady, and Reality. I only saw Quiz Lady in this category, and I loved it. so I'm voting for Quiz Lady. If you haven't seen Quiz Lady, it's on Hulu. It doesn't seem like it's going to be good, but it's incredible. So I highly recommend that you watch Quiz Lady if you have not done that yet. All right, then, Best Actor in a Limited Series or Movie Made for Television. Matt Bomer for Fellow Travelers. Tom Holland for The Crowded Room. David Oyelowo for Lawman, Bass Reeves. Tony Shalhoub for Mr. Monk's Last Case, a Monk movie. Kiefer Sutherland for The Kane Mutiny Court Martial. And then Stephen Yeun for Beef. There's no choice but to vote for Stephen Yeun for Beef. I mean, it's incredible. It's the bear of limited series. Bam! Stephen Yeun for Beef. It'll cheer him up. All right, then. Best Actress in a Limited Series or Movie Made for Television. Caitlin Dever for No One Will See You. Carla Gugino for The Fall of the House of Usher. Brie Larson for Lessons in Chemistry. Belle Powley for A Small Light. Sydney Sweeney in Reality. And Juno Temple for Fargo, and then Ali Wong for Beef. Again, a lot of very talented actresses here. I thought Juno Temple was amazing in Fargo. But again, I've got to vote for Ali Wong and Beef. There's just no question about it. I'm sorry, Elizabeth Olsen was not nominated. At least not for Critics' Choice. Bam! Ali Wong, Beef. Then, Best Supporting Actor in a Limited Series or Movie Made for Television. Nobody from Beef is in here, so it's going to get interesting. Jonathan Bailey for Fellow Travelers. Taylor Kitsch for Painkiller. Jesse Plemons for Love and Death. Lewis Pullman for Lessons in Chemistry. Liev Schreiber for A Small Light. And Justin Theroux for White House Plumbers. That's funny that you say that, NewsWriter22, because I'm going with Taylor Kitsch too. I was so tempted to vote for Jesse Plemons, but I felt, how can I vote for Jesse Plemons if Elizabeth Olsen's not in there? You know, I think Jesse Plemons is an incredible actor, but that really wasn't his show, and I've seen him do a better job in other projects. And Taylor Kitsch and Painkiller broke my heart. So I got to go with Taylor Kitsch and Painkiller. He was incredible there. All right. Best Supporting Actress in a Limited Series or Movie Made for Television. Maria Bello for Beef. Billy Boulay for A Small Light. Willa Fitzgerald for The Fall of the House of Usher. Aha Naomi King for Lessons in Chemistry. Mary McDonnell for The Fall of the House of Usher. That was some serious wig acting she did on that show from what I saw of it. And then Camilla Marone for Daisy Jones and the Six. I actually don't like anybody in this category. I don't think anybody here did a particularly good job. But I have to vote with Maria Bello because I love Beef, and I also feel that she was involved in one of the coolest scenes in the movie. So she's got that going for her. Don't spoil it for somebody who hasn't seen it. All right, there we go. Maria Bello for Beef. All right, Best Foreign Language Series. I'm not familiar with many of these. And I'm familiar with some foreign language series, so I'm surprised that they don't have, like, I would think I would think there'd be maybe some other ones here that I think could have been a little bit better. But Bargain, The Glory, The Good Mothers, The Interpreter of Silence, Lupin, Masked Girl, and Moving. I'm going to vote for Lupin, as many of you agree, just because I like Omar Sy so much. I think he's a wonderful actor. Love that guy. Voting for him. All right. Then, Best Animated Series. This is interesting. We've got Bluey, Bob's Burgers, Harley Quinn, Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, Star Trek Lower Decks, and then Young Love. I didn't like Scott Pilgrim, as many of you know. I didn't even finish it. And I love Bluey. Bluey is actually a really wonderful show. But as many of you know, you guessed it right, I gotta vote for Harley Quinn. I think Harley Quinn... oh yeah, Young Love. Platinum Diva, I'm sorry. I'm sure that's a great show, but I really love Harley Quinn. I think Harley Quinn is very clever. I think it's really smart. It's like the best DC content that's being put out right now. I think it's really great in terms of the LGBT space. So I'm going to go with Harley Quinn. And I'm glad to hear so many of you are fans of Young Love. I'll try and check that out. All right, Harley Quinn. Best Talk Show. Yeah, Graham Norton, Jimmy Kimmel, Kelly Clarkson, John Oliver, Seth Meyers, or Stephen Colbert. I'm going to go with Graham Norton because I enjoy his clips the most on the YouTubes. You know, I think he does a good job. So I'm going, I mean, this is like, you know, not a great category, but that's who I'm going with. All right, then. Best Comedy Special. This was interesting. Mike Birbiglia for The Old Man in the Pool, Alex Borstein for Corsets and Clown Suits, John Early for Now More Than Ever, John Mulaney for Baby J, Trevor Noah for Where Was I, and Wanda Sykes for I'm an Entertainer. Now, I've seen the Mike Birbiglia special, I saw the John Mulaney special, and I saw the Trevor Noah special. And I have to tell you, I thought they were all excellent. But it was really, honestly, I mean, Mike Birbiglia had an amazing set. And he was at Lincoln Center. And I was like, Birbiglia, way to swing for the fences. But I think that John Mulaney and Trevor Noah were funnier. Evan, it's weird that Chris Rock wasn't nominated. I agree. But I think that I had to go, I'm sorry to say, with John Mulaney. I thought Trevor Noah was phenomenal with his special. I thought it was really good. His ability to do accents is incredible. And I think his insight continues to be really strong. And he's a great sketch actor. Like, he incorporates a lot of sketch into his comedy, which I really appreciate it. But John Mulaney, I felt, really, really talked about something so personal with his battle for sobriety. And I think he was really, as the Platinum Diva just said, he was so honest about it. You know, he didn't try to paint himself in a really positive light. You know, he wasn't like very pious. He wasn't like, oh, yes, you know, I was able to do it by just willing it. He was like, this is hard. You know, John Mulaney was like, it's hard to get sobriety, and he had to fight for it. And he was very funny about it, and I think he was very inspiring. And I thought it was just a very, very funny special. I know some of you didn't think it was funny, but I thought it was really, really funny. So I'm going to go with John Mulaney, even though I think this is a tough category. A lot of great stand-up these days. All right, so that's my vote. I voted. Let me close this window. All right, that's my vote for the Critics' Choice Awards 2024. The actual ceremony will be on Sunday, January 14th. This coming Sunday is the Golden Globes, and then after that, Critics' Choice is up. All right, so does anybody have any questions or comments? It's 12:46. We can talk about this until 1 o'clock. I hope you guys enjoyed this different type of live stream and going behind the scenes on an awards vote. So you can really think about how you would really, really vote. SMR Goose, I've been a Critics' Choice member, I think, since 2019, maybe? Oh, bye, Lloyd. Have a great time at work. Newswriter says, who is your biggest nomination snub? Well, I have to figure out what the deadline was. Did they just announce the White Lotus cast? Oh my God, let me go look. Sorry. Blue Eye Samurai, I think, should have been nominated. The White Lotus cast. Let's take a look at it. Who's in it? All right. This is just the first group. Leslie Bibb. What the heck? Jason Isaacs, great choice. Michelle Monaghan, what the heck? It's like a bland-off. Parker Posey, that's exciting. Dom Hetracool and Time Thapthimthong, I guess because also it's taking place in Thailand, so they're going to have, obviously, the staff. But I don't like, I'm all about Leslie Bibb and Michelle Monaghan having me change my mind about them. But right now I'm sure Elizabeth Banks somewhere is like, what the F? Because she campaigned very hard to be in White Lotus. But I don't know about those casting. We'll see. I don't love it, but at least I like Jason Isaacs and Parker Posey. Parker Posey is inspired. She is such a great fit with Mike White. She's just a perfect choice. But that's just the beginning. They're just getting started, hopefully. But I don't love it. Oh, CJ, Natasha Rothwell is coming back. So there's, she's going to be coming back from the first season, Natasha Rothwell. So there is a black actress involved. All right, back to questions about this. Ashaman says, thank you for sharing the vote process with us. It was great to see. I'm so glad that you enjoyed it. I like to try new things. Platinum Diva, Color Purple and Song. I think Wonka is a big snub. I'm really surprised that Wonka didn't get, you know, any really nominations besides costume design. I didn't watch Archie, George Dilly, because I haven't figured out how to watch BritBox. And also, I resent having to pay for yet another service. I'm like, come on. Keith, I would agree that Elizabeth Olsen is a snub for Love and Death. I would like to have seen her be nominated. Your Little Dog, too, has an interesting point. The Color Purple needed a better poster and campaign. Yes, I agree. I think the posters for The Color Purple were not good. I think that I feel really bad that movie didn't connect. I hope they take a strong, hard look at why that movie didn't connect, because it's really unfortunate. That's right, Danny. Nick Offerman, definitely for The Last of Us. I think maybe they felt his role wasn't enough. Hey, Animated Critic Studios. Stephen Turner says, what did you think of the BAFTA shortlist if you saw it? No Charles Melton, and I'm upset about Color Purple. I did not look at the BAFTA shortlist. Why would they pre-announce their nominations? That's a weird strategy. Just go right to the nominations. Big Witch says, how do you think the viewership will pan out for the awards shows this year? I think it's going to be low. Real low. Like, unless they're singing I'm Just Ken at the Oscars and maybe Peaches, I don't see it really coming together. We'll see. We'll get an idea. Also, Golden Globes is still immersed in scandal. Joe 87, I have to think that the Blue Eye Samurai snub is because maybe it didn't qualify. Maybe it was too late. Maybe it just missed the window. Oh, that's right, Andrew. Wonka was also nominated for Young Actress, so it's got that going for it. Hector, I saw that Arcane Season 2 announcement for November. Ramonzilla, I have not seen Fellow Travelers. I just haven't had a chance to watch it. But I'm glad that you like it so much, and I'm glad it has so many nominations. I'm a big Matt Bomer fan. Marduk says, Star Trek Strange New World is a mix with the animated Lower Decks and Galaxy Quest. It is the one to watch if you want to see how it got better. Is that what you mean? I'm glad. Star Trek is on Paramount Plus, and Paramount Plus is tough with their relationship with the press. Also, I'm just not a big Star Trek fan, so it's hard for me to cover that to that degree. But it's really interesting. It must be good to see it nominated here. Austin Williams, I didn't like Emma Stone's performance in Poor Things, and I seriously question her judgment for being in the movie. But I like her personally, so I don't want to make a big deal about it. Lisa, you weren't a fan of Charles Melton's performance? That's very interesting. I'm all for it. Ryan Gosling supremacy. Hey, Pastor Madeline. As a K-drama Korean watcher, The Glory was a sensation in Korea on the level of Parasite. Oh, really? Maybe I'll watch it then, because I loved Parasite, and I really love Korean entertainment. I thought obviously Squid Game was incredible, and I also liked what was Pashenko or whatever, on Apple TV. That was also fantastic. So I'll probably try and watch that. Yeah, I agree. Not modern art history. It's really taken a long time for Arcane to return. And now I feel we're all into Blue Eye Samurai. But we'll feel good when it shows up again. Danny, I think that Arcane will be better because, well, let's see what's coming out at that time. I think it's really, they gotta be careful when they release these shows. I think that I was like, why didn't I cover Blue Eye Samurai? Because I just finished it last night. I binged that sucker in 2 days. It was so good. But very adult, by the way, just a heads up if you're going to watch it. A lot of gore, a lot of sex and nudity. But I thought it was well done, I thought it fit with the story. It was organic. But anyway, I think because it came out like when the Marvels was coming out, and I was just very busy covering the Marvels. And so I hope they don't release this stuff opposite like a really big movie. Travis Parker Lee says, binge The Brother's Son and it was so good. Oh, really? I'm looking for something to watch this weekend. Are you planning to watch it? The action scenes were very well done. Oh, that's great. I will check it out. Let's see. I don't think I'm going to cover it, though, but I plan to watch it. You never know what's going to hit, which is so difficult. You know, like I worked so hard to review True Detective, and it's just not, people just don't care about that show. I mean, they might want to watch it, but it's just not hitting in terms of interest, on the YouTube space. And so you just never know what's going to hit. And I checked Blue Eye Samurai's ratings, and they were actually pretty freaking low. So it's a miracle it got renewed for a season 2. So it's really hard to discern what to cover and what not to cover. But I'm definitely covering Arcane Season 2 and Blue Eye Samurai Season 2. I thought I was going to cover Invincible, but it was coming out at the same time as all this other stuff like Loki. So it's really hard to balance the schedule. Chico says, Grace, which division is more competitive when it comes to vote, movies or TV shows? I think TV, because there's just so much good stuff. Usually in movies, like one winner kind of, or front runner, or two at least crystallize, come into focus. But I think with TV, it's just so prolific and such high quality that you're like, everything in a lot of categories, you're like, half this category or more is phenomenal. Oh, Brandon Garcia, I just went over the White Lotus cast. I like Parker Posey and Jason Isaacs, and I'm not familiar with the Thai actors, but the other ones I didn't particularly, Leslie Bibb and Michelle Monaghan. I mean, I trust in Mike White, so let's see who they're playing. Ivan Sarmiento, for those of you who don't know, Blue Eye Samurai is an animated action adult show on Netflix. It's 8 episodes. They're all about 45 minutes, and you should watch it. But again, it's very adult, so keep that in mind. Danny, I will cover Echo next week for sure. I won't be doing a traditional review, though, because the review embargo lifts when the show drops. And at that point, Netflix does the same thing. At that point, you're not going to want to watch a review. You're going to be watching the show already. So I'm just going to jump right to a spoiler review. Yeah, John Thrasher, we're a Q&A for another 4 minutes. Well, Sensation, I've already seen the first 3 episodes of Echo, so we can't do a watch party. Heather S. says, this isn't about Critics' Choice, but what is going on with Disney behind the scenes? I hear there is a bit of infighting happening right now. I think obviously you can see them scrambling to try to get back on track, and they have a couple of really not so great lawsuits that have been levied at them. But I don't know about any infighting within the divisions that I've heard of. Let's see here. B. Weeb says, do we need to watch Echo? I can't talk about Echo. I'm going to get in trouble. I can't talk about it. The social media embargo drops on Monday night at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I can only talk about it then. Harlequin Dove says, could you please differentiate between a well-made movie and one you enjoyed? I notice you differentiate between the two. Isn't the point enjoyment? Well, enjoyment, that's a great question, Harlequin Dove. Enjoyment, it's like beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Enjoyment is a personal preference. However, well-made, to me, what that means is, I can appreciate the craftsmanship of the film, even though I don't personally care for it. So I would definitely put Oppenheimer in that category. Now, Poor Things isn't in that category because I feel the film crosses too many lines, and I don't even think it says what it has to say in a compelling and well-done way. So I do not think that is a well-made movie. So that's the difference. Sometimes there are movies that are both, that I think are extremely well-made, and I think I really enjoy. And there are some movies that I love that I fully admit are crap. And so that's the difference. Bye, Isaac Lopez. Stephen Turner says, do you think being a remake of sorts could be hurting The Color Purple awards-wise? Even A Star is Born ended up with one wing for song. I think that The Color Purple, I think they underestimated how loyal people are to the original film. Although that didn't win any Oscars either. But at least it got a lot of nominations. Let's see. Owace says, would you have voted for Elizabeth Olsen if she was nominated? No, I'm sorry, I wouldn't have. Because I got to vote for Ali Wong. Because I think Ali Wong just did. I mean, I thought Elizabeth Olsen was phenomenal, but Ali Wong was incredible. John Thrasher says, with Marvel's last movie being its biggest flop in history and with all the other comic book flops, do you still think Deadpool 3 will do $1 billion? Yes, I do. I do think it'll do $1 billion. I have to see a trailer, but I think it'll do $1 billion. Thanks, Danny. That's very nice of you to say. I do think it'll do $1 billion. I think it'll be very funny. I think it's going to bring back all the Fox Marvel stuff that everybody has fond memories for. I just hope too much of the movie isn't spoiled. That's going to be really, that's the only thing that I could see undercutting it. Hey, 80s model, thanks for gifting a membership. It's always so nice to see you. Not Modern Art History says, had McDonald's for my birthday lunch today. Wow, you're living it up. I'm so jealous. Danny Dumphy says, hi Grace, did you make a New Year's resolution or anything you're looking forward to in 2024? Also want to wish you and all of the BTT fam a happy new year. Thank you. I'm really back hardcore on my no sugar, Mediterranean diet. Trying to drink more water. That's the only thing I've gotten fully back on the Mediterranean diet, but drinking enough water has been tough. Maybe that's why I have a dry throat. But I'm supposed to drink like so much water in a day. Everyone is supposed to. It's a lot of freaking water. But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. That's kind of and just to be healthier, I think. Cosmics, congratulations. That's like a 20-pound loss. I'm so happy for you. You must feel great. Big Witch says, do you feel better being off the sugar? It's so hard. It's very hard, Big Witch. But I think once you get past the original, the hurdle, it's not too bad, actually. I thought I'd never make it. But I think you feel so much better being off sugar once you truly do it. It takes like a week. I think you'll feel a difference like in a week, to be honest with you. And good for you, just Josh. I think if you quit sugar, within a week, you'll feel a lot better. And I just feel so much better, and I just feel lighter and healthier that I don't miss it. Bye, Thomas Arfert. Oh, it's 101. Okay, shout out time. Rabbi Zeke, I don't know why they're hiding Mean Girls being a musical. I think it's bizarre. All right, the Laughing Mom says, just finished therapy session, decompressing now with Grace in the BTT community. Oh, that's awesome. I wonder what end of the therapy session you were on. Your own, or were you a therapist? Ciao, Kevin P. Ciao, SMR Goose. I love you guys for saying ciao. Newswriter 22 says, this worked out well as my boss just got back from lunch. Thanks for an awesome live stream, Grace. My pleasure. Hi to your boss. Oh, your own therapy session, the Laughing Mom. Good for you for taking care of yourself. Sensation says, I'm having breakfast while watching your live stream in sunny California. Good morning. Steve Quintanilla says, dropping off mail in Los Angeles. Hope your year is off to a great start. Thanks. I hope yours is too, everybody. Elise says, going to watch Beef. Good idea. Elia says, good morning and happy weekend, y'all. Stay cozy. Well, CJ says, wandering the city working, Grace. Stock up for the snow this weekend. It's not going to be snow anymore, CJ. It's been downgraded just to a whole lot of rain. Carrot O says, greetings from Singapore. The BTT community is amazing. Thank you, Grace, for making my day every day. I'm so glad you feel that way. And it's so awesome. We don't always hear from people from Singapore. So that's awesome. That's so great. I love the global aspect of the BTT community. So that's fantastic, Carrot O. So cool to talk to you on the other side of the globe. Jamie Isaac Choi says, hello from Panama. About to take a road trip of 2 hours to my grandma's home. I will spend the weekend with her. That's so sweet. Say hi to your grandma for us. You're like Little Red Riding Hood there, Jamie. Then Midway says, getting ready to teach my last biology class for the day. Thanks for the live stream. That's so cool. We're with the teach. I love it. Biology is a tough subject. Michael McKenna says, off to the dog park with Husky for lunchtime exercise. I'm sure Husky appreciates it. It's such a beautiful dog. Danny says, starting my shift. Much love from Guatemala. Have a great weekend. You too, Danny. And then Fritz Fromm says, might try to recreate your favorite chicken parmesan tonight. Wish me luck. Oh, fantastic. Good luck, Fritz. That's right, Marduk. A few of you are from France, for sure. Platinum Diva just got back home from work in Las Vegas. Oh, I hope it was fun there with the Grand Prix. You have a great weekend too, Heather. Kevin, I see you're going back to work in Philadelphia. And then Jonathan is watching Bet and Joan. I'm actually kind of excited for the Swans, the Truman Capote one. And then Jico says, have to start getting ready for another long day of work. Ah, that's cool. You'll feel good once it's over. And then Steven says, rewatching Buffy while retouching photos in Brooklyn. That sounds very relaxing. Oh, Platinum Diva, you're going to Australia with your grandma? Or is that Grams? Is that your grandparents in 2 weeks? Oh, that's going to be wonderful. I love that for you. That's quite the trip, Platinum Diva. That's a long flight. I hope you have some cool stuff planned to do during the flight. Remember to get up and walk around. You might even want to take a baby aspirin before you take such a long flight. Writer Boy says, finished up laundry and about to do more editing. Had an amazing morning with all of you. Oh, wow, Writer Boy, you're getting a lot accomplished. That's right, Indionesius. It is the first weekend of the year. I love that. All right, well, on that note, I better get going. I hope all of you have a lovely weekend, and I will see you on Sunday for not only movie math, but then in the evening, I will live tweet the Golden Globes. So even if you're not watching them, at least you'll be seeing who wins. All right, everybody, bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye-bye.